Good evening, guys. I just want to give a quick little video. I'm giving some rookie tips for when you get out on the line. And I can say this because I'm still a rookie and I've made some of these mistakes. Because once you, like I said before, when you're in training, you don't really go over service a whole lot. Not the actual service that you're going to experience when you're actually on the line. And when I say on the line, I mean when you're actually flying for the first time by yourself or with another flight attendant. A lot of people finish their IOE and their first trip is on the 200 by themselves, and you're just like, oh my God, what I need to do. So I'm just going to give some rookie tips. Maybe can help you. I wish someone, was able to help me. I've said before, try to get to your plane early, check your flow. If you don't know how to check your flow, you log into your Sched Plus, you click on your trip, and you click on the flight number, whether it's UA, AA, or DL. And when you click on that flight number in the top right hand corner, it'll say flow, and that will tell you where your plane is. And you'll know if your plane is actually at your gate or if it's still in the air or what, right? So if your plane is at the gate, you can get there early to get on. You get there early, you can go ahead and just do your pre-flight and you don't feel rushed, and you can look through all the compartments and find out where everything is. You should know by looking at your trip sheet if you should have meals on your flight or not. Sometimes commissary may not have shown up by the time you get there. Sometimes they come while passengers are boarding. So you want to go through everything and make sure you have what you need. You have enough water, you have enough snacks to get you there and back. For instance, if you're going, say you're based in, I'm just going to say Dallas, and you're flying to, let's say Fort Wayne, Indiana, or something like that. Fort Wayne is not a Dallas hub, so they're not going to cater you in Fort Wayne. So you got to make sure you have enough soda and snacks and ice to get you there and back. Now, most hubs will give you ice once you get there. They'll ask, do you need any more ice? And you can say yes or no, and you get you some ice to bring you back. And then when you come back to your home, they'll restock all your sodas and stuff. So you want to make sure you go through all your carts and see what you need, and if you make sure you have enough of everything. So also a tip is when you do your briefing, your FA to FA briefing, and your flight deck to crew briefing, and you find out how long your flight is going to be. If he says this flight is 1 hour and 15 minutes, well, you know that the store flight deck comes on at 20 minutes before landing, right? So that's how much time you have to complete your service and start preparing your cabin for landing. If you have, once you get online, you can wear your smartwatch if you have one. I don't have one. And you can set your timer once you get up out of your jump seat to start your service that you have, say, 40 minutes. If the flight is 1 hour and 20 minutes, so you have an hour to prepare for service, finish service, and then you'll have 20 minutes to clean and get your cabin secure, ready for landing, right? So you can set your timer so that you can always look down and see how much time you have left to complete your service. If you have a full flight with 50 or more passengers, up to 76 passengers, it could take you a good 45 minutes to an hour to do a full service if the flight is full. And it also depends on your passengers and if they're being real needy. A lot of people, which I hate, I really hate, when I'm doing my service and passengers want to get up and go to the lavatory. And I will make an announcement, stating that I'm getting ready to prepare the cabin for service and give them an opportunity to go use the lavatory, because when I start, you're going to wait until I finish, because those carts are heavy and you're pushing, you're going up and having to back all the way back just to let someone go to the restroom. And then they see you coming and they know, and then they wait till you get to them to say, can I go to the restroom? No, But no one says that you gotta do that. But when you have a short flight, you have time constraints, and don't nobody have time for all that. So you're gonna wait. Don't take my advice. I'm just, hey, that's what I do. So you want to do your service. You got to go to each row and you got to give them a snack. You got to, give them their choice of their beverages or their liquor or what have you. And then on your way back, I always check for refills if anybody want any refills. So then when I bring my cart back up to the front, especially if I'm working by myself, I'll go ahead and I clean my cart and organize my cart and throw any trash away. That means if I have, if it's like an hour flight, you're not probably going to do any more refills. So any other cans that still have liquids in them, I discard all the liquid. I either pour it in empty water bottles and then put the empty water bottles in the trash, or I'll take the trash bag and dump all the liquids in the trash bag and then recycle the cans in the plastic, and then I tie them up real good and put in the main trash. If I'm going to a different hub and I have to do service on the way back, then I go ahead and restock my cart with new unused merchandise so that my cart would be full and refreshed with everything I need for my next service. And then once my cart is organized and everything is replaced, I store it, I lock everything, I clean up my galley, I make sure everything is locked up, and then I go do a trash run. And then I come back, and depending on what time is, how much time you have left, the star flight deck may have chimed, and it's time for you to start making your initial descent and pre-landing announcements and stuff like that. If you're working with another flight attendant, she may do trash for you. It's not a requirement, but it's part of teamwork. So you will work with flight attendants who will help you with trash, and you will work with some who won't. And then y'all will clean up your galley together and do the cart and replace everything. After I do my pre-landing and I go through the cabin to do my final walkthrough and collect trash, you want to put your gloves on, and I also go into the lavatory while I'm back there and empty the trash in the lavatory and put it in the trash bag that I have in my hand, because I just did my last walkthrough, right? Come back up to the front, put it in the trash bag, and make sure everything is secure, and then you take your jump seat. If you're working by yourself and you're on the 200, then you know that after the passenger's off, you have to go and check the passenger safety cards, make sure they're forward facing, do the seat belts, and pick up any other trash that's left behind that passengers didn't discard, right? Not all hubs have cleaners that are going to come on the plane and clean for you. Some do, some don't. I just make a habit of doing it, and if I see cleaners come on board, then great. If I don't, at least it's done. Now, the problem is, and I don't want you to make this a rookie mistake, is that when you're getting off of that plane, say you're not keeping that plane your entire day, you might be switching planes. Make sure that when you switch planes, that you leave that plane clean and organized and everything replaced for the next flight attendant that's coming on board. So make sure that you restock the drawers with napkins and coffee and creamer. Make sure the cart is already set up for use for the next time. Make sure the trash is picked up and empty. Make sure that you don't leave any coffee mix or the cachets in the coffee maker. Make sure you empty the coffee pot and rinse it out with hot water. Make sure your beer container at the bottom that has your beer and wine in it is not full of a bunch of water. You have to take those cans and those beers out if it's a bunch of water, and then drain the water, because when you take off, what happens is the water comes out and spills on the floor, and it just leaves your galley a mess. So, and then when you have a run, which is remain overnight, Just make sure you lock up the containers that have any food, any meals in it, and any liquor. You don't have to lock up anything else. Just lock up your liquor and lock up meals. And make sure you empty your beer and drain all the ice and throw all the ice out, because the plane is going in a hangar, so the ice is going to melt and it's going to just cause a lot of water. So throw all that away, empty up your water in your beer container, so that when the person gets on the plane the next morning, who's ever taken that plane out the next morning, the ground crew will give them fresh ice for their next leg. So those are some of the things that sometimes we as rookies, we forget to do. We're rushed. We don't know. But I learned that if you time yourself, if the flight is 2 hours and 30 minutes or 3 hours, then you can take your time. You have plenty of time. But if it's like an hour, hour 20, hour 15, 45-minute flights, even, you have to, I would time myself to let myself know, okay, this is how much time I have to complete this. I need to complete it, and I need to do this in that time frame. And it helps out. It makes it a lot easier. Just make sure, like I said before, that you leave your galley fit for the next person you're going to give the plane to. Because it's more work for them if they get on the plane and you left all this stuff for them to do. Now, sometimes there will be situations where you just don't have the time to do it. What if there was severe turbulence and you were in your seat the whole entire time and you didn't have time to do it? Those are things that you just write a report about. You do an IRO. I wasn't able to do this and this and that because of this and that. Because what's going to happen, that person get on that plane after you is going to get on. She's not going to know what you went through. And she's going to get on and file a complaint because the crap was everywhere, but they don't know, what happened prior to. So you just make sure you document it. But those are some of the things we as rookies, we have, to do, and we learn. If no one teaches you or tells you, then you just don't know. Because when you're doing your IOE, you're so concentrated on passing and studying, some of those things fall, by the wayside. But anyway, guys, good luck, and I hope everyone is doing well in training. If someone is in training right now, let me know, because I need something out the airline closet. Y'all take care. Bye.